chat. Welcome. It is that time again. I don't remember what buttons... Oh. Which button do what? Okay, that still works. Continue. Okay, I am ready whenever you are. Oh, fuck, you can see that. Hello, Axie. I need to care not to just alt-tab, I guess.
Alright,
I'm
Did you see
good
it?
to go. I just gotta get actually into the game one sec.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you for the hat pat. I appreciate it. Thank
My
you for the follow
capture
as
card
well.
software had an update, and I was like, what did you update to the capture card software? And the guy who makes it is like, we made it work better with the updated capture card boards, and I was like, cool, well, I've got one of those. And it's like, oh, we also fixed the color grading for DS games and audio, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, and it sounds so much better already.
Oh, wonderful. I know that I've had a lot of game times where I, like just that morning or something, there was an update for it. For example, yesterday I went to play some Satisfactory with Barley, and like I installed it, I think Monday or something like that, and then Tuesday there must have been an update for it, and then Wednesday in the morning I tried to launch the game. It launched properly. I couldn't join Barley's server because it said that I had an outdated version. And I was like, oh, that's weird because I like installed it 2 days ago. And then lo and behold, there was an update, but I had to shut down my entire Steam for it. Steam, not stream. And then I updated the 2 GB update in 10 minutes because, you know, good internet. And then it worked. And like a few weeks ago as well, I think I updated the... Or I installed the co-op mod for when the DLC for Elden Ring came out. And then, like, not even 12 hours after I did that, there was an update for the game and for the co-op mod. So I was just like, alright, cool.
Yeah. I had to like remind myself of what Pokemon we had, so I opened up my Pokemon list and immediately saw P-Waddle, and I was like, "Oh right."
Yes. As you dug P-Waddle into the fucking Patloin is dead, unfortunately.
Yeah, Patloin.
I am very happy with the little what's it called? The little bar that I've made for underneath my stream. I actually think
it looks really good.
I think it's actually legitimately pretty well centered too, which is funny because I don't use a very good editing software for that.
It actually looks reasonably even, like around all the boxes and everything. It's actually really nicely done.
I don't know how I did that. I think I know how I did that. So I use Paint 3D for most of my editing stuff, which, I mean, I don't edit a lot, I just make thumbnails and do this stuff occasionally. But there's no, like, the center of the screen is in this line or anything like that. So what I tend to do is I make, like, a box, and then I copy the box and put it on the other side of the thing. So, for example, like the crits, the dead Pokemon and stuff, those boxes are all the same size because I copied over the box. And then I think I copied over the 4 square box and put it on the right side and then removed the lines.
Remove the borders, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I really like the little Pokeball that I made. It's a little too, like, quote-unquote demonic looking than I intended it to be, but...
I was gonna say, I get they're supposed to be cat ears, but I do see what you mean about
yeah,
like,
it's fine. I might tinker with it at some point. I think they need to be a little bit more flat rather than pointing upwards. But I think it updates if I update the saved image in my computer, so I think it should be fine. But
it should update.
Yeah, so it should be all right. All right. Anyway, last time we killed. No, we didn't kill. That's not how Pokemon works. Well,
Nah,
I mean,
you have a
Patloin
thing
died.
down the bottom that says dead Pokemon too late. We killed them.
Last time we got killed a number of times by Charon, that's his name. I was trying to remember it, but yeah. And we beat him afterwards, with only one lost Pokemon.
I think the funniest thing is that we both went in, and I was like, it shouldn't be too bad. We've got the level cap, roughly. You know, we're like a level below the level cap or whatever. We should be fine. We both walk in, and then he does his, like, TM move, and it was work up, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, it really is. How do you counter getting one shot before you can kill the enemy? Before you can reduce the enemy to 0 HP?
We don't have any fighting type Pokemon, and we're not massively over leveled, which was the whole entire reason when I was like, before we worked out who the gym leader was, and I remembered that I wanted the level cap to be on level higher, because then at least Tepig would have turned into a firefighting and learned, I think, low kick, and I would have been fine, and I would have been just like, you figure something out.
It's alright. We've done it. We still have to do the forfeits at some point, but we could also count up all the forfeits that we have and then do them at the end of the thing. I actually just now had an idea that rather doing a single thing for every single forfeit, we make like kind of like a subathon like goal list, but instead of 4 subs, it's for what's it called? Forfeits. So like at 5 forfeits we do this, and then at 7 forfeits we do that, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse. But then we'd have to make an entire list of forfeits. But well, we'll figure something out. I also have to get used to my controls again. I might want some more Pokeballs. A quick question. We cannot use healing items during combat, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Like we can use berries and stuff like we did last time, like give them to the Pokemon, but we can't actually use the healing items directly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to buy some Pokeballs. And then I don't even know where we go next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's one of the other things people do as well, is they'll be like, oh, you can't go back to the Pokemon centers as often, you actually have to, like, try and use potions and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to be that, that stringent about shit.
No.
So the next gym, so if you haven't come to, like, the next town out, which is Soullocke town, then you need to go back to, like, the second town we went to. And then now that guy that was blocking us was like, you can't come through here, you don't have a gym badge, will be gone, and we can continue on to the next town. And that's where the second gym is, by the way.
Is it? Okay. Is it spring for you now as well?
It is spring as well, yeah.
Okay, cool. Is that randomized or is it story?
It's based on the month of the year. Which I had checked because last time it was like winter for me. I was like, I wonder if it's based on the region. I think my copy is a Oz copy of the game, which means it should be slightly different, but I looked into it. It's like, no, if it's you know, August, it's just winter, no matter where in the world you're. I'm like, that's silly.
Yeah, not very inclusive.
Yeah.
I have to remember how to get to that town. I think I just have to head north.
Yeah.
And then we have had a Pokemon in Route 19.
We have already, yeah.
Okay.
And we have one at the farm.
Yeah.
And we also had one on route, I think it's 20 as well, like just out of
yeah, I think so as well.
Town. Yeah, we did.
I'm moving towards the new location now. I was intending to make like a third counter, or technically a fourth, I suppose, for amount of times that I step into one block of grass and get like the first block of grass and immediately get like attacked. But I was like, I'm already doing like crits, their crits, and dead Pokemon. I don't think I will. I think the last little box is going to be the forfeit box, so that we can keep track of that.
Yeah, that's fair. We're at 3 already, in
Yeah.
case you forgot.
I remember.
I think the funniest thing about that was that we both went in, got smashed, and then I reloaded the save, went back in, put berries on my Pokemon, varied up my strategy slightly, won, and then you lost, so I reset, and then we both lost again, I think it was, and then you beat it, but I lost, and then
and I just didn't have the save,
and you just went, okay, I'm just gonna sit here until you win, and then I won, and it was like,
only
okay,
one
cool,
Pokemon
and
was
we only
lost.
lost one Pokemon.
Yeah, it's I worry about Bianca. I don't think she usually attacks you, but it's not attacking. It's Pokemon battle. Well, it's actually attacking when it's when it's in Nuzlocke.
Help! It's an assault. That person just ran up and assaulted me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So they said some shit about where the traders' eyes meet. They had to battle each other, but I was clearly not facing anywhere towards them until they ran up next to me and assaulted me.
Yeah, they physically grabbed me by my shoulders, turned me to face them, and when I tried not to look at them, they forced my head into a position that I couldn't not.
And then they were like, "Hey, you want a Pokemon battle?" I was like, "No thanks," but you know, apparently them's the rules. Oh right, I forgot you suck.
Yeah. What is the special surprise? Snaps neck, fight me! Yeah. What is the surprise in rustling bushes again?
It's just the rarer Pokemon for specific routes and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Is this the guy? Uh-oh. Does he want to fight now? Oh, no he doesn't. He just goes... Yes, he does want to fight. Speaking of assault...
Yes, he does want to fight.
I think
that was the person I was talking about. Was like, "Oh right, you suck now," because I talked to him just before you got there, and he's like,
yes.
"Hey, fight me," and I was like, "Fuck you, Hydra."
I worry a little bit. Azuro isn't weak against fighting, right?
No, not weak against, but it doesn't really have anything that's good against a fighting type either.
I don't think I have a good Pokemon against a Riolu. Puwaddle?
I was about to comment and be like, "Oh, Azurill would be fine into Riolu. It's a fairy type." And then I thought to myself, "Wait, no, it doesn't have the fairy typing yet. It doesn't get that until it evolves into Marill." And then my second thought popped in my head and went, "Wait, this is 5th gen. There is no fairy type."
Yeah.
What a emotional roller coaster I went on.
Yeah. Speaking of emotional roller coaster, I started my meds today, and it is really awful tasting. It's so bad. I have like drops rather than... Oh no, that's fine. I have drops rather than like a pill. So I have to put that in a spoon and then lick it up. And I can tell you, it is not... I was like, it can't be that bad. No, it very well can be.
It's medicine. Medicine usually tastes
bad. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm fine. Endure just means that they don't die to a hit, right?
They survive on 1 HP, yeah.
Okay. I always get Endure, Workup, and Bide confused. And Bide is very scary.
I mean, Bide is really scary until you realize that, hey, wait, I can get rid of that Pokemon before Bide ever goes off, because it goes off on the 3rd turn.
Yeah. It's just that, like, I always worry about not having enough DPS. Though I have Azurill with Frustration at the moment, and it's actually hitting, like, quite the truck at the moment.
Oh, right, yeah, because you got the Frustration TM, and you're like, I'm going to teach this to Azurill until it, like, learns something better. And I was like, that's really smart.
And I'm going to teach it the happy one when it's not working anymore. It's doing alright damage still.
I just remembered that I'm pretty sure if you check, it's actually a normal type right now as well.
Oh, is it? Summary? Is it not water?
It's one of the no.
It's
It's one of,
normal.
like the weirdest Pokemon in the entire thing. It's a normal type when it's a 0, and then it evolves into a water type, and then it evolves into a like water fairy later when Generation 6 happens. Like what? So it's getting the same type attack bonus.
Yeah, stab is it's called, right?
Stab, yeah.
Stab. Right. This is still Route 20, I believe.
Yeah, it is still Route 20.
Little lad. Let's hope you don't one-shot my Azurill. I don't know what you have. I was going to go on and like I watch an individual called TB Skyan on YouTube. It's a very interesting channel. I've talked about this last time as well. But he also does like reviews of like Pokemon like trainer types, like for example the hiker and stuff like that. And he goes over how they're designed and how their design evolves from game to game. And he went over the hiker one, and like in the first few iterations, he's like, "This looks exactly like me." And then like later on, I think in Sword and Shield, there is one that is just a really buff woman. I think. That's the hiker type, and he's an asexual individual, as far as I'm aware. And oh fuck, this is rough. He mentioned that. He's usually not very, down bad for most of the folk around. But in that case, he was just like, yes. And then he just moved on to the next one. So I found that pretty amusing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Psyduck. Yes?
My favorite joke with a hiker at all has to be, I think it's in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There's one guy in like a apartment building you walk into, and he's on like the second floor or something, and you talk to him, and he's like, "Here, have this item," and he gives it to you, and it's a float stone, and it's one of like the Ace Trainer models, and he's like, "Yeah, the only Pokemon that holds a float stone will always be lighter and keep its weight down."
Yeah.
And then if you walk out of the room and walk back in, the model changes to a hiker, which is like the big chunky fellas back there, and you go and talk to him, and he's like, "Man, I don't know what happened. Ever since I gave you that float stone, I can't keep my weight off." And I'm like, "Fucking you gave me that's way too funny."
That is really funny, yeah. I'm going to level up a different Pokemon. And that Pokemon is going to be Tuat. I want Tuat to get his cool sharp shell move, because it's so strong. Oh no.
Razor Shell.
Razor Shell. That's it.
Well, he won't get it till later.
Yeah, he won't get it until he evolves, I believe. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care about him being Oshawott or not, even though he has the shell already, but whatever. He only figures out how to pluck it off after he levels up, evolves. There are some
Please
Pokemon...
don't make me go in there.
Yeah. There are some Pokemon that are better not to immediately level up, like evolve, right? I think like Pansear, like the fire monkey is one of them.
Yeah.
Do we have to go into the tall grass?
No, thankfully.
Okay. No, but he is.
Yeah, but like...
Hello, Classic. Welcome.
He's an idiot.
But there's a Pokeball there.
Wait, if you want to go and get it, go for it.
I worry. I'm not gonna go get it. I'll get it at some point later on if I don't forget about it. Do it,
Apparently
no
someone
balls.
in your chat is saying do it again. Sorry.
Yeah. This is still Route 20, right? Yeah, it is. Alright, cool.
This is still Route 20. Yeah, it's just double battles in the tall grass. Like, it's not like it's like, oh no, it's gonna be a
I've
been
burned really bad on tall grass bell though. If you do it, I follow. It's okay. I'll go get the Pokeball in a moment. I wish that my Pokemon were either faster or stronger. Oh. Alright. Okay, that's fine.
They'll get there, hopefully.
Yeah. I thought that Oshawott was generally quite a fast Pokemon, but doesn't feel like it. That's a lot of EXP. Nice. Alright, I'll go get the Pokeball. Hold up.
Oh, yeah, I was totally worth it.
Huh? It's a great ball. Wonderful. One great ball,
I mean,
please.
that's pretty good right about now.
Yeah. We've got a few of them, but...
Yeah, I mean, we've got one great ball right now, so...
No, I bought a few. So I have some...
No, I didn't bother on. You
Yeah.
can only
Yes?
You can only catch, like, one Pokemon per route. You don't need that many great balls.
No... I know.
Did you see it?
Thank you. I just really like having balls.
So what you're saying is you don't want to be a eunuch.
No, I don't. I got explained what a eunuch was in a really funny way at some point in the past, but I probably shouldn't talk about it. It's not offensive, it's just cringe.
It's just, like, awkward.
Yeah, I can talk about it. They mentioned it. What I was like, what is it? What does it mean to be a eunuch? And then they were like, well, you have 2 rocks, and then you just clap them on your crotch. And I was like, oh, that's not fun.
That's not fun at all.
No, it's not that bad, but
What?
well, I mean,
Sorry.
to be a eunuch.
I just got into battle against these, like, pair of trainers.
Yeah.
And they're like, we just both have level 9 Sunkern. And I'm just like, but why?
Yeah, but why would you do that to yourself? Is Sunkern the little seedling
Yeah.
that turns into Sunflora, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I always wanted to eat one of those because the moment I got introduced to them, the like sunflower like seed thing, like those bags of like sunflowers with a slight dusting of flavor on it were very popular. So I always just associated the two. Oh no, this Dunsparce is high level.
See,
Oh.
I don't particularly like Sunko much. I know that it's like a Pokemon that gets used in a few of like the really hard like Nuzlocke fan games people do, where they do like the really hard runs and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, fair enough. But are you in trouble?
Yeah, we aren't allowed to swap Pokemon, are we?
No, you totally can.
Okay.
Maybe we're not allowed to swap Pokemon. No, you totally
Okay.
can.
okay. Otherwise, Chewat would have fucking died. Sorry, continue. I am compensating, yeah.
And the fan game that I'm thinking of has what they call Delta Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
Alpharad did a video on it just recently. He was like, this game's insane. It's got like cults and like death and stuff, and I'm like, oh right. So like the video title, I was like, wait, is he playing Pokemon Insurgents? That game came out like forever ago. It was, and Delta Sunkern in that is like a ghost fire type, and it's like on fire and really blackened. And for some reason, ever since I saw that, I just see Sunkern and I just go, ah yes, popcorn kernel.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
in
unsee
trouble.
it. Every time I say this, it's just popcorn.
This Dunsparce has been using rollout like 3, 4, 5 turns in a row, and every Pokemon I send out is very weak to it. Well, not very weak. Is bug Pokemon weak to rollout?
Yes, bug types are weak to rock moves.
Well, who would you like to lose the most? It doubles each turn.
Probably either Peewaddle or Azuduk.
Well, goodbye, Azuduk. Song is dying. It's supposed to, like, miss at some point, right? Does this Pokemon have to, like, you don't miss? Please miss.
I mean, it's 90% accurate, so...
It did not miss. Goodbye, Azuduk. I might get wiped by this one trainer.
I mean, I'd hope not.
I genuinely
I'm also
don't...
fighting the Dunsparce right now.
No, he's not missing.
There we go.
My 2-watt died too. I'm gonna get wiped by this man.
Alright, put another one on the counter.
Please.
I will say, I'm fighting as I've just beaten it because I've
Oh.
burnt it.
Why?
But also didn't use rollout.
Why did its rollout do like 10 damage when it was super effective against me?
I think it might have used another move in between because then it drops
No.
the power. It's like,
It can't, can it?
yeah, they have to continually use it turn after turn, and every time you do it, it doubles each turn. But as soon as you switch to a different move, it resets back to its base power.
Okay, well I didn't get wiped, which honestly might be worse because now I only have Pawaddle left. I apologize. That was the
That's
6th
fine.
move. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this
So
is
now-
rough.
Oh, yeah, it only goes up for 6 times. Yeah, the next time it goes back to restart. So.
Ah, I see.
Okay, so you need to go back to the Pokemon Center
Mm-hmm.
and heal up your P-Waddle,
Uh-huh.
and then we need to put everything else in the graveyard.
Uh-huh. Oh, yesterday
And
I was
then we'll have to
feeling-
work out what the fuck we're gonna do from here.
Yesterday I was feeling so, like, good about, you know, pulling my own weight. And now I do this.
It's honestly fine.
Doesn't feel fine.
It will be fine.
Okay.
Don't worry. We'll have a chance to get another Pokemon before we
Yeah.
go to the next gym. So
Oh, goodbye, Pokemon. Update counters. Yep, my bad. I don't think they crit a single time. So now we have 3 dead. Excuse me. I did not. I'm happy that it reset at 5, but. Nope. I was so excited to get Azurill to deal big damage with the happy move. Oh well.
well,
I'll find it. I'll find a different normal type, which is physical based. Oh right, don't forget to heal up. Did you survive your encounter against them?
It doesn't matter. Those two are gone
Yeah.
from my party.
Yeah.
The upside is because you'll only have one Pokemon once you healed up. When you go back, the twins won't fight you because the fun
Because-
fact that you learn from watching Pokemon speedruns, the double trainer battles won't fight you if you don't have 2 Pokemon in your party.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's like a balance thing where it's like, oh, it wouldn't be fair if like you're some young child that only has 1 Pokemon, like you get you starting like, I'm just gonna use my favorite Pokemon, and then you run
Yeah.
into double battle. It's like, we get 2 moves a turn to your 1. It's like, yeah, that wouldn't be fair to them. So it's like, no, the double battles just don't trigger if you only have 1 Pokemon in your party. It's like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Dire hit. Well, is this a next route or is this a city?
It's the town.
Oh. Oh.
Oh man, I've got great balls.
But are you okay? You'll be in trouble when you encounter Pokemon that Suwaddle is weak against.
Uh-huh.
Here, I'll give you these so you can have more Pokemon. More Great Balls. Yes, ma'am, I am aware. City with an encounter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Mom. The mom is a certified cutie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Should I start, like, trying to power level a little bit? I don't think... Oh, I could go to the
Well,
ranch, but
the level cap is 18 for the next
okay.
gym.
Yeah. I just don't know how high level the upcoming encounter is and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to depend on what you run into, but you should be able to just, like, huck a great ball at it and capture it, even if it's
Oh, right. The encounter is a wild Pokemon encounter. I thought they meant like a regular Pokemon encounter, like a trainer battle. Where
well,
in the city
the next
is it?
gym's also here, so...
Right. Is there any NPCs that I should talk to? Is this the...
Not that I can recall. I am running around talking to people, though.
Fairbank Complex. Oh, I found the area. Should I wait for you to get into the grass as well?
No, that's fine. I'll be over there in a second.
Okay.
Because you can get your encounter started, and then we'll...
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's get this cool Pokemon. Oh, I like this Pokemon. I have found... Should I wait for it? Should I wait for you to tell you? Should I tell you now?
Fine.
Okay. I have found an Elekid.
Oh, nice.
I like him. I like lightning Pokemon. I don't think they're going to be very useful against this next leader.
It'll be fine. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what type the next gym leader is, so...
Are electric Pokemon weak against Bug? They aren't, right?
No.
Vice versa, no, right?
No, you'll actually resist electric type moves because
Oh, good.
Bug grass, and grass resists electric.
Yeah. Uh-oh, but he has low kick. Oh, that's fine. It's not very effective either. One day I'll remember what types are useful against which.
I'm trying to remember where the hell the encounters are in this place.
Downwards. Bag. Pokeballs. I've thrown my great ball at him, and it has succeeded.
Well, now I have to not get an Elekid. Fuck.
Unfortunate. Did you want an
Well,
Elekid?
no, we've already had Patrat, so species
Oh, nice. Patline. No Patline the second.
Yeah, we had Patline. That's I was like, God damn it. I don't want to like have to go through too many encounters. Oh shit! Yeah, okay.
What'd you get?
I got a Magnemite.
Oh, I like Magnemite. Magnemite was one of my first favorite Pokemons. It honestly...
It's a Steel type.
Oh. It honestly doesn't surprise me that I started liking Metagross so much. Because it looks a lot like the Magnezone, I think. Kinda.
Kinda. Stay in the ball. See, I'm worried about this one now because I didn't really want to run into electric types because my only Pokemon I have is a flying type.
Ah. Oh no. That is worrying. Metagross
Oh my
is
god,
so
stay
cool.
in the fucking ball.
So we've got either Elamite, which I like, or Magnikid, which is also pretty funny.
We could also just go with like Mag Kid.
Magkid. I have an edgy joke and I don't think I should make it.
Okay.
Low-hanging fruit.
Oh my god, it's a level 10 and it will not stay in a fucking Great Ball. Are you kidding me?
I lowered it to like half HP with some tackles, but...
Yeah, but mine's a Steel Electric type. My only two attacks are...
yes.
Gust.
I understand the issue.
And Quick Attack, none of which are going to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer I'm in battle with it, the more likely I am of just straight up wiping at this point.
Yep.
I'm also out of Great Balls, which is brilliant.
Well,
Oh yeah, I'm so dead.
Oh no. That's another one for the counter. I can make sort of a quick counter-ish for how many got nothing else to do anyway, so add text 4. Oh, whoops. Cancel.
How to run all the way back because I didn't go to the Pokemon Center in the next town yet.
Oh, can I change your name real quick?
Man, I totally didn't tweet out before I started the stream that maybe we'd do this with like less trouble this time or anything.
What is? Yeah, I'm sure I want to remove 4 text. Okay. What are they called again? Forfeits? No. Are they called forfeits?
Wipes, I guess. I mean,
I'll,
wipe them. We'll do the forfeit later.
Yeah. I'll use it as I'll type it as forfeits, and then
Fair enough.
I can add and remove it should there be a need. Just like font. Can I change the color? Oh fuck! I don't remember what the color type is. That's fine. It should look okay. My OBS does not like me adding a text thing while I'm streaming.
Well, that's no fun.
No. Can I change your size, please? It's fine. I think I can do it like this. Okay. Sure. I'll mess with the colors a little bit more later. Cool. Alright.
Sorry, I'll try and catch a Pokemon faster.
Yeah, no, it's I'm not. That's not what I meant.
No. You just summon the music, and I'm like, yeah, I'll stop sucking eventually. Just give me some.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if it would stop giving me Patrat and Pidove encounters here.
Did you get to the new town at least?
Yeah, I ran back. I bought some Great Balls as well.
Looks back at the Great Balls that I bought. Well, I didn't need them, but if I did, I'd have them.
I had 3, and the Magnemite refused to stay at any of them. It's level 10. It was just like, nah.
Yeah. Well, at least now you get it.
I want to fuck specifically with your day, Avros, and I'm like, can you not?
Yeah. Luckily, this music, while repetitive, isn't the worst music to listen to.
I said to my chat, watch the fucking Magnemite be the rare encounter here.
Oh. Yeah, could be.
Well, considering that I keep running into Patrats, it's going great.
Does every route / city have like a rare encounter?
Yeah, that's pretty much been a thing since very early Pokemon games. It wasn't like every route in Generation 1, but it was like specific routes would have... Well, alright.
What'd you get?
A Magby this time, so...
Oh. Is that the fire one?
It is. It turns into Magmar.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's an alright Pokemon. It's just that you are, well, I wanted to say you already have a fire type, but I kind of borfed that one.
Oh my god, stay in the fucking ball! Boy, I sure hope I don't wipe her again.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or not.
Oh, it's really not.
Okay.
If Magma uses Ember on me again, I'm dead.
Oh, no. That's right, you get him in the next ball.
Well, that'll only be like the 4th one I've thrown.
Hmm. Where's your color code? EBA09, right?
So I wiped again.
We are not having a good day, are we?
Nope.
It might get better at the second half. It might.
Boy, I hope so.
Manifest it. Kaylee's been teaching me to manifest it. Manifest the good vibes. You're gonna get the rare encounter. You're gonna get a fucking level 3 Zekrom, and you're gonna get it in one regular Pokeball, and you're not gonna wipe. That's what's going to happen. Manifest it.
Zekrom's in your game.
Anyway, I have actually never.
I mean, technically it's in both, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually played fully played Black or White, either one of them. So I just know the names of the Pokemon, but I don't remember which one is in which. It's Zekrom, Kyurem, and
Reshiram.
Reshiram.
Kyurem's the ice one that isn't really plot relevant in either of the first 2 games. It's plot relevant in this one. Slight spoilers, but it's weird because it's like Reshiram's the white one. It's the legendary that you catch in black, and Zekrom's the black one. It's the legendary you catch in white.
Yeah. Which one am I playing again?
White.
White. Okay. Cool.
At least his Magby showed up nice and quick this time.
Yeah.
It's also embering me straight away and critical, so you know that's fun.
The second half will be better. The second half will be better. It would have been a little easier, you know, if I didn't get rollouted.
Yeah. It's fine.
I don't think there was anything that I really could have done against it, though. My Pokemon were basically full health, and I did not have enough DPS to kill it. Nor speed, for that matter.
Technically, that trainer was optional. You could have gone around.
That's true. You're right. He's so right.
I'm just saying that to be because you're like, it's not anything I could have done. It's like, could have just not.
Yeah, but I wanted to level up.
That,
yeah. Honestly, I didn't expect Dunsparce to be near the end of me, so.
It had defense curl, which means it actually had the combo where you could defense kill and roll out, and then your first rollout's actually at the second stage of damage increase as well, which is like a little internal mechanic that the game doesn't tell you about, but it works.
Wonderful.
Also, this great ball went onto this Magby, and it did like the 3 rocks, and then paused for a second, and the ball opened, and it literally just did it again as I was describing what happened a second time to me, where it's like right on the edge of being captured, and it just goes, "No, I'm getting the fuck out of here."
No, I'm leaving.
Twice now.
You'll get it in the next one.
Again, I wipe.
You'll get it. You'll get it in the next one.
I'd hope so. It's my last great ball.
I'm manifesting. You'll get it in this one. I haven't saved yet. We could just like end stream, start stream again, and then...
I saved already.
Oh fuck!
I ain't no cheater. So
No.
do you want Mag Kid or Ellaby?
I do like Ellaby a lot. Ellaby sounds
fuck
like a
Ellaby.
different Pokemon. Have you been doing the good thing, which is only the first letter is caps? Or have you been a savage and made every letter caps?
No, I believe in proper case for my names, unlike the Pokemon Company who are like, oh yeah, everything's all caps for everything, but the rest of the text is normal. So whenever you run into new characters, like, they're yelling, it's like, Sharon!
Yeah.
Like, whoa, dude, calm down, he's right there.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm gonna heal my Pokemon, and then I'm gonna go...
Grind up to level 18.
Yeah, grind up to level 18. And I worry a little bit about the dual trainer. What do they have? I don't know if I can get past them, actually.
Oh, they have the 2 Sunkerns, if you go back out. We're in the city where the gym trainer is, so...
Yeah, and we can also... There's also grass that we can level on in the city, so we should be fine here.
But, I mean, if you want to go and fight the 2 level 9 Sunkern, you know, be my guest.
I worry. I'm gonna do it, but I worry. I worry a lot. Oh, it's fine. It's the worst that could happen. It's 2 Sunkerns. It's the worst that could happen. It's a
what's the worst that could happen? You just get wiped.
Yeah. No, that's not. I don't think that's the worst that could happen. I think the worst that could happen is I lose the new Pokemon.
I don't know. I don't know what is worse. Just losing one Pokemon and being back down to 1, which also puts me back down to 1, or just losing them all. Really not sure what's worse. Have you actually saved yet?
No.
Save after that battle.
Yeah. Sunkern aren't weak to fighting or lightning, right?
No.
Okay.
They're just grass types. They're monograss. So weak to flying, fire, ice.
They're weak to ice? Oh, nice. Ooh. Don't absorb me. Okay, well, that's one for the crit counter. Luckily, it did almost 0 damage, so it's fine.
Yeah, Sunkern has really bad stats.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, Sunflora has, like, okay stats. Like, they're not even necessarily that good. They're just like, yeah, these are alright.
Yeah.
And because those stats are alright, and it can evolve, because it's a stone evolution as well, it's just like Sunstone evolves it, which means you can evolve it super early. That's why it gets used in some of, like, Pokemon Run and Bun and some of those other, like, Kaizo Pokemon style Nuzlocke hacks that people make, because it's like, well, you've got nothing else good, because, like, Run and Bun, for example, it's like, oh yeah, they literally got rid of, like, all the Pokemon you would consider good from Wild Encounters, and it's like, figure it out, make the most of what, like, bad Pokemon we give you. There's strategies available that you can go for to beat trainers and stuff like that, but it's also one of the ones where if you wanted to stream it, a large part of your streaming time is going to be staring at, like, the like wiki for what the next, like, gym leaders Pokemon are.
Yeah.
And come up with a strategy before you even step foot in the gym to fight them, because otherwise you're never going to win.
Yeah. Looking at Pokemon for a long while on stream. I've seen you do that when you were counting a Pokemon blinking, I believe.
Ah,
Does that give you PTSD?
no. It really bothers me because, and I talked about this on stream because it was for the Rivermouse stuff, which I still need to get back to at some point. But I gotta do a bunch of stuff off stream because it's really boring. And I've shown off how boring it is on stream once. I'm like, yeah, you guys don't want to watch me spend 6 hours, I think it would take me roughly, just playing Pokemon Soccer, essentially.
Right.
Anyway, why it bothers me so much is the details for how that strategy is supposed to work and everything. The program's in Japanese. There's like a better version of it that exists, but because the guy that made it didn't like people taking his program, catching shinies in Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, then transferring them up to more recent generations through Pokemon Home and everything like that, and then because they'd used that program to catch shinies with it,
Yeah.
then selling those shinies as like special ones because they're from Coliseum and they have different like data for the Pokemon when you check it, and then being like, ah, yes, I caught this shiny in Coliseum, pay me like, I forget the screenshot I saw that the guy posted, but it was like, you know, on some Japanese site, I was like, pay like 800 yen for it or whatever, and it's like, it's nothing. It's not like they're making like $100 per Pokemon or something stupid.
Yeah.
And he's well within his rights to do this, but he was like, I don't like that people are selling their shiny Pokemon they got via my RNG manipulation methods, so no one can have my programs anymore. You can have this, up to this older version is still publicly available, but if you want the newer ones, you have to find their like other account on the Japanese like microblogging site they use, or on Twitter, not the one that they're posting from for all the information for it. Find their other one somehow, I'm not entirely sure how, or be introduced by somebody else from like the RNG like manipulation community in Pokemon, and then to prove that you're not a novice RNG manipulator, answer a bunch of questions that he will only ask in Japanese to show how much skill and knowledge you have about doing RNG manipulation.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can't have the latest version of it, which works.
Wonderful.
All of the guides, but like 2, are written based on the old software. The 2, which are the ones that I needed, were written based on the new software that I can't get. So you're kind of trying to reverse engineer them with like, oh, click this button here and click this button here to do this. The buttons are in completely different spots as I worked out. And then follow all of these steps and do all of this, and then like one thing the guy says in this one guide I was reading was, don't set the game to like 60 hertz refresh rate, only use 50, otherwise the program doesn't work and it doesn't count the blinks properly, or don't do this because it will break this and it doesn't work properly despite the settings being in the software for it to work, and the guy that makes the software being like, no, it totally works on 60 hertz in like his actual microblog and everything.
Wonderful.
And then
yeah.
there was like one specific step where he was like, whatever you do, don't do this thing this particular way, otherwise it will never fucking work no matter what you do. And I was like, okay, and kept doing the thing exactly the way that this guy was saying to do it, and it would not work for me no matter how many times I tried. And I was like, fuck it, I'll try it the way this other guy that was written like well before his was written tells you to do it, which says to do the thing he's telling you 100% do not do this, and then it worked for me.
Wonderful.
So I spent like hours, like Axie can attest to just like how many hours I was sitting here with like the GameCube setup, running through the capture card, all the different software programs open, my PC looking like that Pepe Sylvia gif from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, with like all of the amount of stuff I had up all over the screens with like little arrows pointing to different things, trackers, like notepad documents open with like different numbers in them, trying to work stuff out, doing trial and error shit repeatedly over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Just to figure out with reverse engineering, with the steps that I'd gotten from multiple different guides that told you to do it differently, how it actually fucking works, because some of them are telling you completely contradictory information to how the software actually functions.
Wonderful.
And then once I'd done all of that, it still took me an entire day of resets to get shiny Metagross. I wish that was a joke. It literally took me a full day of resets.
Yeah. So Elekid's low kick is super effective against Magnemite. It does like 10% damage at most.
Yeah. Magnemite's both a steel type and quite heavy. So low kick's a fighting type move, so super effective against steel, and also it's based on the opposing Pokemon's weight for how much damage it does. So
well, it does almost no damage. I don't know why, but either my Elekid is just bad or it's not a very, effective attack.
Like, Magnemite's heavy for what type of Pokemon it is, but it's not like as heavy as, like, say...
Torterra.
Aggron.
Yeah. That's fair.
Celesteela. Archaludon. I could list so many heavy Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of Pokemon that have, over the years, used Heavy Slam as a move, and it's because it's like, oh yeah, you can use this move because that Pokemon's, like, right up at the top tier of, like, weight, and Heavy Slam is the opposite of low kick, where it's like your Pokemon's weight increases the base power of the move.
Yeah.
And it's like the weight differential between your Pokemon and the Pokemon you're hitting. And there's some of them when you check their weight in the Pokedex, it's like, this Pokemon's so fucking heavy, the other Pokemon would have to be, like, above this weight class to not take a 120 base power move from it. Which means it's one of the other Pokemon that has a 120 base power Heavy Slam. Basically, it's the only Pokemon that exists in that sort of weight class. Iron Hands, Colossal, Aggron, Celesteela, Archaludon. There's a bunch.
Yeah. Pterodactyl didn't die.
Good.
But survived with 8 hit points. Yeah. I'm working on it. Pterodactyl could have killed itself by confusion, but it didn't.
I will say, you are allowed to run away from wild Pokemon battles. So if you're at the point where both of them look like they're going to die in a wild battle, please run away. Because
Will do.
You cannot afford to lose another Pokemon.
I'm gonna.
I'll level with you. The next gym leader is a poison type. If you have the chance to lose any Pokemon, please lose Pterodactyl, not...
Yeah, the other one. Ellaby. Oh, that's what I think it sounded like.
I messed up my nickname, I just noticed.
Oh no, what did you name it?
I just nicknamed my Magby Elekid.
That's pretty funny.
Oh man, TCPI is gonna ban me from tournament play.
So Elekid hit itself in confusion, and then it tried to use confusion on me again, and I survived with like 2 hit points. So I just ran like you told me to.
Good. Thank you.
Otherwise, that would have probably been a wipe.
So explain that joke about the TCPI is going to ban me from tournament
You're
play.
not allowed to...
It's in the competitive rules that you can't have a Pokemon nicknamed a different Pokemon's name in competitive teams.
That's honestly completely fair dues.
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense, because if you like nicknamed it something and someone's like, oh, I'm used to seeing just like the name of the Pokemon in the
the enemy's coming out with a Tepig. I'm going to use my Oshawott, and it's grass type. Yeah.
I mean, these days with open team sheets and stuff like that, it's not so bad. They'd be able to tell, like, pretty quick, because that's just the nature of how that works. But still, at the same time, it's like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Also, no fight to the death.
I've also, as a little heads up, I think my medication is starting to work at this point. Because I'm having a real hard time focusing. I've been trying to listen to you talk very attentively, but it's been very difficult. So if I sometimes zone out a little bit, you know why.
Yep, and if you need to stop at any point, just
I still feel mostly fine. I know that it also affects like reaction speeds. Luckily, we're not playing like CS:GO or something, so that doesn't. I don't think I have to perform a quick time event in this video game.
And now I'm thinking to myself, has there ever been a quick time event in a Pokemon game? I can't think of one. I think timed events is the worst we've had.
Yeah.
Like, there's a thing later. I know it was in Black and White 1. I'm just trying to think what's in Black and White 2, where you get to explore what's called the Relic Castle.
Right.
And it's like a sunken castle underwater that's full of like treasures. You swim down into it in like scuba gear and collect treasures, and when you come back up, you just sell them for like lots of money. Honestly, really cool. But it's like timed for how much air you've got, so you kind of like, if you want to get to like the deepest parts where there's some interesting items and like lore and stuff like that, you have to be really quick. But we're not going to get there anytime soon anyway.
No.
So
I guess like the closest you'd get is that Pokemon DS game. I think it's called Rangers.
Pokemon Ranger, yep.
Where you have to draw circles around the Pokemon to catch them. That's kind of like a quick time event.
Do you one better, because there's one thing I can think of that's requires a quicker reaction time. No, Mystery Dungeon doesn't need reaction time at all, actually. No, the one I'm thinking of is, hey, do you want to go and catch Rayquaza in the 3rd generation games at the top of the Sky Pillar? Well, you need the Mark Bike, and you have to ride across the cracking tiles, where if you going at full speed, press slightly the wrong direction, you fall down to the previous floor. Now, you can just go back up. It's not that bad, but you do have to, like, riding the bike at full speed, like, do, like, the turns, like, pixel perfect and stuff like that. So that'd be the closest thing to, like, a quick time event or anything.
It's alright. For now. I'm fighting a Patrat, and it's using Bide. Do I run?
Yeah. I mean, if you've got, like, Leer or Growl or something, you could use that.
I do have Leer. I have hit it with 1 attack. I think I should survive it with Leer. Think.
Leer drops defense. Growl would drop its attack, so it does less damage with Bide. I did the same thing, and then got hit by the Bide for about half of my HP when I only hit it once, so...
I'm going to run, then. Thank fuck that I got out of that. Because why is that Patrat level 13? What is wrong with him?
That's the maximum level for Pokemon here, so that whole thing about grinding up to level 18, that's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
There is a thing once you get up a couple more levels, like if you get to like 14 on both of them, if you go down through like the south exit below like the Burbank complex, there's like another like area down there. I think there's an event. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's been a long time since I've played Black and White 2.
Yeah. Please don't
so I'm like, yeah, 14 should be fine. It's like a level above what the gym was. Last gym.
I'm struggling so much to even get an encounter done, honestly. Because Magnemite uses Sonic Boom and it does like half of any of my Pokemon's HP, so I don't want to risk another one. The Patrat had Bide, which scares me, honestly. Elekid is the only one that I can encounter easily, and I've not encountered a Magby yet, so...
I'm pretty sure I can't get Elekid and you can't get Magby. They're exclusive for this area.
I see.
Because I haven't seen a single Elekid, but I've seen every other encounter. I'm pretty sure it's here, which is Magnemite, Magby, P-Dove, and Patrat.
That makes more sense then. If only we had fucking XP share, man. Here we go, an Elekid. I can do this.
I will say Sonic Boom at this level is honestly like super fucking scary because it's like flat damage. I'm pretty sure it's like 20 flat damage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason why if you ever do like a randomizer and like you see a Pokemon at the start that's like something that learns Dragon Breath like by like around level 20-ish, you just go, oh yeah, no, I'm taking that 100% because Dragon Breath is a flat 40 damage. So
and that kills
like up to like level 36-ish, I think, is around when Pokemon start having like enough health that becomes not like a two-shot.
Yeah.
Because like my Magby right now has 37 HP at level 13.
Yeah.
Which means if you had Dragon's Breath, it's just like, that's it, it's just gone in a single hit. Doesn't matter what because
Yeah.
even if it like resisted, it still does the 40. I'm pretty sure.
My Pawaddle has 39 at level 14, my bad. So it would also still just die. Are you going to use Bide? Please use Bide. I don't think you used Bide. Nope. Alright. I do like
So I just have,
static as a passive or whatever they're called.
Ability.
Yeah.
My Magby has Flame Body, which does burn.
Oh,
And
I like that more.
I just had a fight against a Magnemite, right? But it survived on 1 HP, and then it tackled me for some reason. And then the tackle triggered Flame Body, so it got burned, and then lost its final 1 HP to the burn on the same time.
Wonderful.
Speaking of Elekid and Magby,
Yeah.
there was a odd thing they did in Pokemon Crystal. Just because
Okay.
I'm trying to fill time. We're grinding.
Yeah.
Where there was... When you went and talked to the daycare couple, they gave you an egg. So, like, in the Generation 2 games, you go and talk to Mr. Pokemon after you got your, like, first Pokemon, your Pokedex from Oregon and stuff. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, I want you to have this egg. Take the egg back to Professor Elm, and he'll do research on it. And you take the egg back, give it to Professor Elm. He tells you to, like, take it later and hatch it. That was one that turns into Togepi. But in Crystal, you go to the daycare couple, and they'd give you the quote-unquote mystery egg. And what that is just, like, they give you an egg. It still takes ages to hatch, but it hatches into one of the new Generation 2 baby Pokemon. So, like, Magby, Elekid, God, I can't think of what Jinx's one's called now.
Oh.
Smoochum.
Is that right?
Yeah, Smoochum, and stuff like that. So, there's, like, a few Pokemon in the list. Like, it's all the babies. I think Togepi's still in there. Tyrogue's in there. Like, it's all the new, like, baby Pokemon they added. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Pichu's the other one. Like, it's a short list of Pokemon that are in it, but at the same time, what that egg does is, for some reason, the eggs you get from the daycare couple have a 1 in 8 chance of being shiny.
Oh. Dang. Does that get determined when you get the egg or when you hatch the egg?
When you hatch the egg in Generation
So you can
2.
just
So you
save
can just
scum it.
reset and
Yeah.
hit, yeah.
That's
Also, because it's in Crystal, you can also do duplication glitches with the boxes as well and end up with a whole shitload of them if you wanted.
wonderful.
Except that they're trapped there because Generation 2 never got the ability to trade up to any later generations, so...
You should not really have much use for it.
Yes and no, because then they also did the thing where they were like... not that you could get it anymore because the DSC shop's dead, but they put out red, yellow, and blue on the Nintendo DSC shop, and then they just put out Crystal. They didn't put out Gold and Silver as, like, virtual console games on the 3DS. But those virtual console games, like even the red, blue, yellow ones, have the ability where you can do a one-way, one-off transfer. The Pokemon's gone from your save file to Pokemon Bank.
Yeah.
Pokemon Bank can then transfer to Pokemon Home, meaning that technically you could take a Generation 1 Pokemon and transfer it all the way up to Generation 9, so long as you are playing the 3DS Virtual Console version of it.
Right.
Which means, technically, if you're playing Crystal on the 3DS Virtual Console, you can transfer those ones up. I was not paying attention there. I just had Magby die.
No.
I'm gonna call that one my mistake there, because I should have won. I didn't realize I'd used Bide. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, that's completely fair. We
Spaghetti beam.
We'll I think we should add another what's it called?
Forfeit. Yeah, just
Forfeit.
Put a 6 there.
But I
there.
do think
I'm keeping it. I don't fucking care. We're 6 wipes in at this point. Fuck it.
Yeah. Let's not, have one Pokemon for the next gym battle. Don't give him a Swift. How good is Swift? Forget an old move. What is Swift? This attack never misses. 60 power. That actually looks pretty strong. 60 power never misses? It's alright. We'll take we'll take a forfeit for it, it's fine. Otherwise we'll never get this game done.
Our luck is Also, Axie's trolling me in my chat, and I'm really upset.
Oh no.
Not really, like, it still just needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said spaghetti beam, and then he was like, spaghetti beams, plural, and I was like, no? Sort of things what I thought, and then he was like, or beans, as in, you know, baked beans. And,
yeah.
And then I was like, no, spaghetti beam, like singular. And then he was like, bean? And then because I said, oh, singular, he's like, oh, you know, brim, the fish, but spelled, you know, B-R-E-A-M.
Yeah.
But I thought because I said no singular with an M, that he was going to make the joke that I made and just type in, oh, mingular. No, just replace the S and singular with an M.
Yeah.
If you see the rustling grass patches, you should totally try and fight them.
I haven't seen one yet.
Because I totally forgot. They have Ordino, which is a Pokemon that does no damage, but has a shitload of health.
Is Ardino the
also
pink little fairy-looking creature?
Yeah, it's like the pink and yellow, like, weird-looking thing.
Yeah, I like that. They're so cute. Well, thank you, Elekid, for snapping out of your confusion. I have no idea if I've had a singular crit so far. I've not been paying too close attention, but that's all right.
But
we've not died yet. The reason
I said you want to get the Ordino if you can is I don't know why this is the case. I know it's like used in some fan games for stuff, but it's definitely the case in like actual Black and White as well. When you KO an Ordino, it is worth a fucking ton of EXP.
It's like the Amoy Kane from Digital Devil Survivor 1 or 2.
Correct.
I've been watching someone play that game, and it's quite a trip. I enjoy a lot of the characters, but there's also some characters that I don't enjoy because they're written in a way that I generally don't like. Not saying they're badly written, not at all. It's just that they tend to be super sensitive to anything that's going on whatsoever, and I don't. That's not the types of character that I tend to enjoy, if that makes sense.
I get you, yeah.
There's a character called Gale, who I love and adore. He's amazing, he's great, he's funny. I love his, love that he starts off with his like little motto being, I do not comprehend. And then like halfway through the second game he says, I comprehend or something. Like he becomes a little bit more emotional before then, but just in general he goes like, I do comprehend. Sometimes it's not or I think it's like sometimes it's not about comprehending, but it's about feeling or something, and I like that. But then there's like the character Sarah, something like that, who I don't quite like because near every scene that she shows up in, it almost feels like she is on the verge of tears, saying a name, gasping, and then going to hug or help them or something like that. And I don't enjoy that. It makes me feel unhappy. Not unhappy, that's the wrong word. It makes me feel
uncomfortable.
No, I guess it's just like I just kind of find it annoying in a type of way. I understand that some people are a lot more emotional than others. I'm a very emotional kid as well, but I try to remain a little bit less expressive. Well, not try to. I'm just less expressive than she is, I suppose. And it makes me feel a type of negative emotion. Not being like, oh, she's a terrible character, I want her to die or anything like that. But just like, I don't like the way she is written. But I have that with a lot of like like I want to say a lot of Atlas games. I don't know if it's just Atlas, but like for example, a lot of the problem. I don't think you've played Persona 5 because you didn't want to.
I haven't played it on stream. But
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
finished both Persona 5 and Royal.
Okay. So Persona 5, I really don't like.
Slow down there, because that's a more recent game. Like, maybe give people a chance to like mute if they don't want spoilers.
Right. I'm not gonna. I guess I can go to a previous game instead. You're right. I don't like that certain characters in Atlas games, or like I feel like it's like a lot of JRPG media, I think, where there's just a very sensitive individual who, I don't know, I think the party what's it called, like, sympathizes too much with certain villains. Certain, not all of them. And sometimes they go like through a lot of like killing a lot of like lackeys, and then when they get to the big boss, they go like, yeah, we can't kill you because that would make us as bad as you are. We're not like you. We're not like you at all. And I don't often agree with that very well. I don't know. I'm kind of losing my own track of thought. Sorry.
No, I will say for like the Persona games, like 3 onwards, that like the quote unquote lackeys you're talking about aren't real.
Yeah.
Like
for Persona,
it's
they are.
one of the things where that becomes like less of a problem when it's like, oh, they've been beating up stuff this entire time and like quote unquote killing them, right? And then they like get to the boss and like, no, we're not going to kill you because that would make us as bad as you are. And it's like, I guess that's kind of true, because all the stuff you've been killing are like just shadows. They're just like manifestations of the human psyche. They're not real. So
let me give you a different example, because what you're saying is correct. In Digital Devil Saga 2, you often kill like the soldiers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And the soldiers, they can turn into demons, and when they turn into demons, you devour them afterwards. That's just a game mechanic. If they don't turn into demons, so if they remain human, you do not get points, implying that you do not eat them. And I look at that and I go like, yeah, but like, what's the moral quandary here? Because all the people, all of the devils or demons you killed beforehand were people too. So why don't you kill the soldiers? Why don't you eat the soldiers? What's the difference?
It is like an implied thing in a lot of like SMT games, where, you know, you're not wrong for saying what you're saying. I'm not trying to like disprove your point.
No.
But it's like an implied thing with a lot of them where it's like, oh right, yeah, like if you're playing SMT1, where it's like, yeah, people can be affected by their emotions getting too negative, and that causes them to like become demons basically. And then if you kill them, then it's kind of like, well, they turn into a demon, and we're like the good guys, right? So we kill demons, so of course we'd kill them. It's like, yeah, but they were human. And it's like, no. Once they become a demon, they've abandoned their humanity, because it's very inspired by Abrahamic Christian religion, where it's like, oh, if you like give up your humanity and become a demon, you don't count anymore. And honestly, I agree with that, with what you're saying. That's like, that's kind of fucked up, guys.
Yeah, and you also see like, you see that the soldiers can turn back by like,
which is what makes it worse.
Yeah, like that just like at least in Digital Devil Saga. Yeah, I don't know anything about like the early Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, in other SMT games, like if you see like the demons usually come from hell, so they're like are just demons. But if you ever see somebody that like in one of the ones where it's like, oh no, they give in to like their fear and that causes them to become demonized, it's like, no, there's no coming back from that. They are just a demon.
Yeah.
Like GG, fucking you're a demon now. There's no coming back from that. Is kind of the idea.
I also a different game, which is Yakuza. I don't know if you've ever played or seen much of that.
Most of them.
In Yakuza, I think his name is Kiryu. It's implied that he never killed anyone. which just doesn't make any sense considering that some of his finishers are that he picks up a shotgun and shoots you with it. Like,
He doesn't have any really with guns that much, but he also has really stupid ones where he like grabs somebody around their shoulders, flips them over, and like pile drives their head into the concrete of the road. And it's like that man has a broken neck at worst, at best, like a fractured skull and a massive concussion, and possibly dies from like internal hemorrhage bleeding in the hospital. But the thing that people misconstrue about the whole "oh, Kiryu never killed anybody" thing is like you have to separate gameplay from narrative in the Yakuza series. Like, if you're just out on the street doing a random battle against some just thugs, it's like that like might be like a side story thing that Kiryu mentions. If like you were sitting down at a bar with him and he was telling you the story of the game, he's not going to be there going, okay, so then I ran into this group of thugs and I slammed these guys into the ground. Like, that's not a relevant part of the overarching narrative. It's kind of like
imagine having a long conversation with someone and they just start talking about like the menial tasks that they did in between.
Yep, it's like if you and I started streaming, I was like, you know, how's your day? And you're like, good. And you're like, how's your day? And I was like, okay, so I got up in this morning and then I, you know, had a shower and, you know, made sure to like scrub myself really well with soap. And then I rinsed all that off, got out of the shower, dried myself. And then I had to get ready to go into the guild house. So I got dressed.
Made sure I ate something and I thought about what I wanted to eat, etc. Yeah. I don't eat in the mornings.
Oh, but... yeah. He's going to be at the guild house today, so I'll be able to go and get a coffee with him in the morning.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, stuff like that, right? It's not how that sort of thing works.
No.
So if you look at like the main scenario of those games, like plot points and stuff like that, he never like does anything that would explicitly through his direct actions kill anybody necessarily. It's like you'll see stuff like in spoilers at the end of Yakuza 0. Or no, is it 1? No, it's 1 I'm thinking of, where it's like, yes, the bad guy he's fighting at the end, you know, decides to like set off a bomb on a timer, and then after you beat him, another guy comes in and does some stupid bullshit, and then the guy that you just finished a fist fight with gets up, pulls out his knife, runs into the other guy that showed up and shot, you know, somebody else that's there. I'm keeping this vague to not spoil the plot of the story.
Yeah.
And then like stabs him and runs into the room where the bomb is, and then closes the door on like this vault which is full of cash where the bomb is. And then the bomb goes off, killing both of them. And it's like, well, Kiryu beat up one of them that made him lose all like self-confidence himself, so that was the course of action he thought made the most sense, was to heroically and nobly sacrifice himself to the bomb. So it's tangentially Kiryu's fault, but he didn't quote unquote kill him sort of thing. And it's like, well, okay, yeah. I didn't like pick up a gun and shoot anybody in the course of the narrative. It's like, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, fair dues. I understand, and like I can enjoy a character with having like a moral high ground. Oh, well, time to run. A character with like a moral high ground and the like. I can enjoy that quite significantly, where someone is like, I can't kill you because X or because of Y. But I think I prefer it in certain media. I've seen it happen where someone goes and I'm a little bit of an edgy person, I suppose. No, I'm not an edgy person. I just enjoy edge, so to speak. There's a lot of like darker themed things, like for example Jujutsu Kaisen, that I enjoy because of like how dark it can get. But for example, I really like it when like a villain suffers a fate worse than death, where the party goes, or like the main character goes, I'm not gonna kill you, and he goes like, haha, you're an idiot. Like, what his internal dialogue is, haha, you're an idiot, I'm going to do something worse because you're gonna let me out. And then he goes, I'm gonna make you suffer worse. And I like both the fate worse than death in as like a punishment for good guys and for bad guys, because I like it. I like having a bit of a tragic story, I suppose. For example, I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream has a really terrible ending, which which I like. I am like sometimes. This is probably like my most psychopathic behavior. Sometimes I look up the dialogue that happens at the end of the game because I quite enjoy how it's narrated, and I just enjoy that.
The narration in that game is really good.
Yeah, because it's also narrated by the author, right?
As well. Yeah. Harlan Ellison did the voiceover for AM.
Yeah. I like generally I enjoy like Fate's Worse Than Death, especially if it's like done in a good a good way. It's hard to do it in a quote unquote good way, I suppose, but I don't know. I there's a lot of things in writing that I do like, and there's a lot of things in writing that I just don't. And with Japanese like game media, I've noticed that there seems to be a lot more like characters that I like, at least game media. I don't know if I said that properly. That there seems to be a lot of characters that have like a stereotype that I don't like. For example, like also in like My Hero Academia, there's a lot of that, and certain animes probably. I don't remember too well. I'm starting to lose my focus a little bit more, but I also was like, maybe we've gotten a little bit sidetracked into conversation. And I was like, we are also just farming up to level 18, so what else can we do? Yeah, I've enjoyed this conversation. Don't get me wrong. I just like genuinely, I like talking about this stuff, especially without like judgment and understanding of both sides. Even if you don't have to agree. With certain things, and I also enjoy like what you said earlier. Like, I don't disagree completely with you, like with the killing someone, not killing Ahira, but killing one of the lackeys. But I just like I enjoy hearing other people's perspective on it because that broadens my horizons.
It is interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So the exit to the south, that I couldn't remember what the event was down there. It's like a factory complex sort of thing, or like a workers area, and the guy wants you to like go and fight the workers to like get the energy going, sort of thing.
Okay.
I
didn't need to do that.
He's Pokemon level 13, so.
Right.
So if you get to about 14 or so, you should be good to go down there. And,
yeah, my Pewattle is like level 15 at the moment. But I think my Ella B is a little lower level. I don't know if I finished my conversation at my thought pattern at some point, but the reason I thought Ella B sounded like a different Pokemon is because there's a Pokemon called Celebi, which is spelled slightly differently, but I was like, it sounds so familiar, but not quite.
Yes, Pokemon number 252, Celebi, one of the legendary event Pokemon back when you had to go to physical locations to get them.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had the chance to do that in my youth.
There is honestly surprisingly few distribution events that they did for Celebi.
I mean, in general, like the distribution events, I don't think we had much of them.
We had like 2 that I can recall in Australia, and it's like, wow, that's real shit, guys.
Yeah. I also imagine that in Australia, it's a bit of a problem, because if it's on the other side of Australia, you won't be able to get there.
Yeah, so that's why, like, with the distribution events for, like, when they started doing them in more places, like, I know, like, the Mew one that they did originally and the Celebi one, it was, like, at specific things. Like, I know, like, for Japan, I think the Mew was, like, at Space World, which was, like, the Japanese equivalent of E3 almost back in the day. And so I was like, did you go to Space World? You could take your Game Boy and get a Mew sort of thing. And it's like, oh, and then, like, in the West, it was like, oh, yeah, it's, like, at this one specific event, like E3 or like some other con or something like that, sort of similar sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when they started broadening them in Gen 3, it was like, oh, yeah, it'll be at participating Toys R Us stores in the US sort of thing. So it was like, it wasn't like one specific store. It was like on this weekend or on this like week or whatever, check which Toys R Us stores in your local area will have it because one of them should, sort of thing. It's like, oh, that's still shit, but it's less shitty.
Yeah. Yeah. Chat, don't do it. Don't do bide.
Yeah, don't use bide.
Don't do it. We all understand now why I fear it. Even if it did bite at this point, it would not survive. Oh, well, it did bite.
Say,
yes.
I'm pretty sure these workers, because this is like a factory, will have like electric types and Magby, so just be careful about that.
Oh, good. Because if they... Well, if they have Magbies, that's a problem for me. Electric types... I guess I could just go with Ellaby into the fights, and then... If it's not a fire type, I can swap over to Piwaddle, and if it is a fire type, I can keep Elekid. Probably.
I'm fighting the first one I've found, and he's got... Oh, that's not great. He had a Magby, and I was like, he's probably gonna have like Elekid or Magnemite for a second, I'll be fine. And he's like, no, it's a coughing. I'm like,
oh no.
Alright. I'm not particularly enthused by a coughing.
Watch them self-destruct and kill all of our Pokemon.
Doesn't have it at level 12.
Oh, good. Thank the heavens.
See, this is why I wanted Magnemite so bad when it showed up, because the next gym leader's a poison type, so having a steel type means I would have completely nullified poison. It would have been like, oh, it's been so good.
That would have been really good. That would have been really good. Articulate your words, Mars. I've recently been made aware of how much I do word association when I get tired. So sometimes when I'm just like tired because of like focusing too... Oh, I did a crit. Nice. It's probably my first one. Probably. When I do word when I get tired, I like forget names a lot, and then when I try to remember the name, I just go like, I just like go completely brain numb, start drooling effectively, and just just start saying words that sound like the word.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, basically. And I worry about doing that a little bit with you as well. I don't want to be that guy that just starts listing random words that sound like random words.
I was gonna say, because Max and I like doing trivia stuff. There'll be like a question or something if we're doing like a specific trivia thing, and it'll be like, you know, who is this person? And we'll both know the answer, but both of us will go brain empty in exactly the same way and cannot for the life of us remember their name.
Yeah.
And like we'll start associating them with other characters from like the same property or something, but like with the wrong name, but like the right sort of sounding thing, and then both of us get stuck in like the feedback loop with the other person saying the wrong name and just cannot remember it. Yeah. And then one of us will get frustrated and look it up.
Wonderful. I like trivia stuff as well. I have a reputation amongst friends that know me, like have met me in real life, that anytime I walk anywhere and I hear music, for example, in the store, there might be like music playing, and then I recognize the song, and sometimes even when I don't recognize the song, I look towards that person I'm walking with and I go, who's that by? And then they have to, if they don't answer properly, I go like, no, that's wrong. And if they answer properly, I go like, yep, that's right. But like most of my friends aren't very quote unquote educated in like relatively normal or old music. Like Kaylee also isn't very good at it, and like when I was in Australia, I would just like, for some reason, I didn't know this was a thing, but in Australia there were like speakers outside certain buildings to just play music into the streets, and I didn't know that was a thing. And at some point we walked past it, and I just looked at it, and I was like, "Who's that by?" And she was like, "I don't know." And I go, "Oh, damn it!" And then I tell her what it was. But sometimes I also just do not know what it is myself. So they just go like, "Oh, I don't know," and I go, "I have no idea either," and then they get upset at me because I go. I mean, I think it's really funny to just be like, I hear a random song that I've never in my life heard before. They go like, "Who's that by?" And they're like, "I don't know," and I go, "I don't know either," and then they keep moving. Oh. But it's yeah, that's like my little bits of trivia that I do. Like at some point, both Kaylee and the Hungarian friend that was over here for a while were in a conversation after the Hungarian had left, and then the Hungarian was like, every time we hear any type of song in the streets, this motherfucker comes over here and says, "Who's that by?" And then Kaylee just in a very monotone voice went, "You'll get used to it."
Yeah.
It made me very happy. That's
Yeah, I was more sort of like meaning like doing like general trivia like quizzes and stuff like
Yeah.
that, not necessarily just like being like, oh, just dropping random trivia necessarily, but yeah, like
yeah.
one of our favorite sort of like geeky nerd trivia sort of things we like to watch is actually by like the guys on Dropout, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, he'll say a statement about like a pop culture property.
Yep.
With something wrong in what he says, the hostess is, and then you have to like figure out what part is wrong and then correct it by saying actually, and then the part that's wrong, and that's how the game works.
Yeah.
And then we'll both be like, it would be something, and we'll be like, we know what it is, but neither of us can think of what the thing for it is.
Ah, yes.
It's like, that part's wrong, it's this thing instead, or it's, oh, it's that person instead of the person they said it was, and it's like, shit, I can't remember what their name is, though.
Yeah. I do enjoy a little bit of, like, regular trivia. I don't have a lot of people to play trivia games with, and, like, an issue that I have with trivia is that I know a lot. No, I know a little about a lot, but often not very in-depth. So I have a lot of, like, small bits and pieces of knowledge of many different things. Like, for example, a while ago, like I said, my Hungarian friend was in the Netherlands for a couple of weeks, and I had set up a custom what's it called, like, quiz, and it was going to be a drinking game. There were 35 total questions, and I was like, every time you get one wrong, you take a drink. Every time everyone gets it right, I take a drink, and every time everyone gets it wrong, I also take a drink. We got like 20 shots deep or something. It was pretty nice. But like, I made like a custom quiz about a lot of different things, and they got very upset at me for making the questions too difficult. But like, it's very hard as a person making the quiz and knowing the answers, which ones are hard and which ones are not.
Yeah, and it's also hard if you don't know everyone's level of knowledge with the topics as well, because you might do a question that to you, because you know a lot about a subject, find it incredibly straightforward.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, that was way too hard because I only have like a passing interest in it. It's like a lot of people are into Warhammer 40k these days because of stuff like Darktide and Space Marine and stuff like that. But someone who's been playing like the tabletop war game for a really long time might find a question super simple because, oh yeah, no, that's just like a common thing that everyone talks about. But the people that already play the games will be like, I don't know that at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna find the document because I think I still have it, and I'll name some of the questions that you also should be able to answer once I finish this fight, at least. But like some of the ones that you you won't be able to guess is that, like, for example, in that friend group's Discord server that we have a quotes channel. So, like, for the first like 5 or so questions, I had a bunch of questions that were, what did I think?
Who said this sort of thing?
No, it was like, yeah, exactly. Like, who has the most quotes in the quotes channel, for example, was one of them. I wouldn't have known. I had to manually go and count. No one else. Some people had it right. I think most people had it right that game, but like stuff like that, and that was very like well done. And then there was like a round. There was a round where I made everyone, because there was 4 of us. There was one for the friend group, which was look to the person on your right, look to the person on your left, and look at the person 2 spaces away from you, and stuff like that. So I could also participate without knowing all of the answers. But then there were also, like... I made a couple of joke questions, because we have, like, the inside joke that Yuri Lowenthal is basically in everything, which he is. But, like, recently we got introduced that he was also in Helldivers as one of the voices.
Yep.
So at the end of the anime question section, I had, in which of these anime does Yuri Lowenthal not play? And then I gave like 4 answers, so A, B, C, or D. If you want, I can give you the answers and let you figure out which one it is. But if you're not interested, that's fine too.
Right.
And then there was one, which game is he not in? And then there was like the last section was the game questions, and then I did like... I made the joke that the questions were phrased in a stupid way. For example, in the small indie game Elden Ring, stuff like that, and in the hit game Dead by Daylight, in the little-known indie game Call of Duty, stuff like that. I had some fun with a lot of these questions and stuff, but I had a lot of fun with it, but everyone got like upset at me for like how the questions were like almost impossible to get, because like, for example, Ahmed, or one of my friends, Ahmed, was he knows a lot about the anime Hellsing Ultimate, but like there were questions that I was like, okay, this is I think this is just the Hellsing Ultimate. No, this is just like an anime questions, and that this is a question about Hellsing Ultimate. And he immediately went like, hell yeah, this is so easy to do. And then I asked him a question, which was very difficult, because I was like, everyone here knows Hellsing Ultimate and has watched it multiple times. I'm gonna have to make the questions a little harder. But I felt like I enjoyed it a lot more than any of them did, and it felt very disappointing, because I put a lot of effort into making like 25 unique questions. Anyway, that's my rant about trying to have fun with my friends. And to be fair, we did have fun, but like they also got pissed at me being like, well, I don't know the answer to this question, let me just immediately take a shot because I get it wrong anyway. I was like, alright.
I mean, like, not just like with making a quiz or anything like that, but it's like the thing sometimes with making like anything for like other people to enjoy. Sometimes you make something and you're like, I put a lot of effort into this, so hopefully everyone enjoys it, and then everyone's just like, I don't really care, and you're like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. Does coughing have anything, like, super strong against electrics types?
The only move I saw it use was Assurance, but it shouldn't really have anything like ground type or anything.
Okay.
Which should be a problem for Ellicott at this point.
Okay. I'm doing the thing now. Yep, that makes sense.
I just cleared it before.
I'll probably try and finish this, this little, mini quest, and then I'll probably be done for today. Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'm running around in the actual... Well, that was a mistake. I need to get out of this fight now.
The factory isn't a different area than the city, right?
It's not. No, we don't get another encounter here. It's still the Fearbank complex.
Unfortunate.
Which is why I'm disappointed, because I was just running around in the grass, like, looking for random encounters, and ran into a Growlithe.
Oh, I do like Growlithe. Shockwave, 60 power.
Arcanine, one of my favorite Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure it had a chance of having Intimidate there, which would be so good.
Yeah, maybe we should have figured out what... Oh, it's fine.
It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
And also, you're only allowed to catch the first thing you run into anyway, so...
Yeah, it's not a guarantee anyway.
I don't know if you've been doing it, but every time I go into the Pokemon Center, if I see Mr. Metal standing off to the side, I talk to him and get the new medals for the medal case. Like, it legitimately is the most pointless thing I could be doing, but I'm like, man, you know what, I'm gonna do it fucking anyway while I'm here.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the game. I hadn't done that yet, so I'm gonna do that now.
I watched a video by a Pokemon YouTuber I really like who does weird challenge stuff at times. Like, he was working on making a shiny living dex is what he's working on at the moment, and he was like, I'm going to start with this generation. I'm allowed to catch them, like, it doesn't have to be specifically caught in that game. It's like, no, catch them from all the stuff to make it in Pokemon Home. So, like, if you can go back and, like, use Poker Radar in 4th gen to get a greater chance of getting a shiny, he can, as well as using sandwiches in Generation 9 and stuff like that, which he was like, because those are so easy, I'm going to limit myself to, like, X% of that generation's Pokedex that I can get. He's only done Generation 2 so far. Yeah. But another one he did was he was like, I wanted to do a run through Pokemon Black and White 2, the first one, I forget which one he did, where he's like, I'm going to try and get every single medal from Mr. Metal just to, like, see how difficult it is. And some of the later medals are, like, fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because there's, like, a thing you can do on the Sea Gear.
Yeah.
Only via local wireless. Like, you can't do it online, so it was never an option to be like, hey, let's get a group of people online to all get together and jump into the Sea Gear and do this thing, which are, like, adventure quest sort of thing, and you can get, like, different ones where it's like, oh, go and do these quests, like, go and find the random item that someone's lost in whichever part of the game that you're in and take it back to them, and it'll give you X number of points the more times you can do it before the time limit runs out. And if you have multiple people playing, because you're doing it via local multi, then everyone's score adds to, like, the point total by the end. And there's a few of them that, like, way easier, like the Find Missing Items one kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But one of them is, like, to finish with a score of, like, 10,000 points or something like that, and doing it, like, solo, like, some of the best amounts he could get was, like, 200 something points. And so it's kind of like, how insane do you have to be to get, like, 10,000? And then, because he's a YouTuber and he's, you know, reasonably popular, he went to some con, I think it was, or like a Pokemon regional that was happening for VGC or something, and was like, hey, if you're coming and you have, like, an old DS and a copy of Black and White, let's try and get, like, the most number of people together for this sort of, like, quest mode thing ever. And they got, like, 30 or something people crammed into it and got the medal.
Wonderful. That's really
I was
cute.
like, yeah, that's probably the only way you could do that. But I do think it's one of my favorite things about the 5th generation games, that if you finish the entire Pokedex, so if you get every single Pokemon in the Pokedex, it gives you access to the National Park, which is, like, a place you can fly to. And the only thing that's in the National Park, other than, like, some grass, it just has, like, random Pokemon encounters. But hey, you finish the entire Pokedex, why would you care what random encounters are there? But there's a shiny Haxorus in the middle of the National Park. It's just a wild Pokemon that you can catch. It's, like, a guaranteed shiny, like the red Gyarados.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Haxorus is pretty cool. So, you know.
That's the green and black with the, like, red axe,
like, axe
beak.
mouth dragon
Yeah.
that was introduced in 5th gen, yeah.
Okay, cool. I know my Pokemon. I see you know your Pokemon well.
The other, like, free shinies that have been in Pokemon games, there's the red Gyarados, obviously. I think it's in Generation 5. If you finish either the White Tree Hollow or the Black City, which is, like, like, massive side quest thing at the end game. If you completely finish either of those, the guy that runs it, for whichever version of the game you're playing that has it, will be like, ah, yes, you have completed all of our challenges. You may have this shiny Pokemon. I think one of them gives you a shiny Garchomp, and the other one gives you, like, a shiny Dratini or something, I think it is. It's like, oh, one of those is definitely way better than the other one.
Yeah.
And then there's also a shiny Munchlax in Generation 9 if you do the highest difficulty of Mochi Madness with a perfect score, which is, like, the whole balloon popping game thing that they did for the first DLC, and it's honestly really fucking difficult to finish it with a high enough score on the hardest difficulty to actually get the shiny Munchlax, but, you know, it's a shiny Munchlax. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Pewaddle, or Sewaddle has 3 evolutions total, right?
Yeah, so you go from Sewaddle into Swadloon into Leaveney.
Okay, and Swadloon is the weird little ball that looks like it has a blanket over it, right?
Yeah, it's like a little yellow face. Like Sewaddle's got like the leaf on its back, and then like kind of wraps itself around in a cocoon.
Yeah.
It just has like a little yellow ball sticking out of it. It looks like a little baby wrapped up in there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I remember.
And then Leaveney actually gets like Leaf Blade, which is like high crit rate and has a reasonable attack stat. It's just real fucking weak, so it'll die to like a stiff breeze. But like it'll put out damage, so it's like not a terrible Pokemon to have picked up.
Yeah. I never really enjoyed many how do you call it? Many
Bug types?
Bug types, that's the one. I know words. I don't know words at the moment. But I am enjoying Pewaddle a lot more than I expected him to. Who's this weird scientist guy that keeps muttering to himself?
I don't know.
There's just English is a stupid language. Yeah, there's just a scientist walking around in this factory, and then I walk up to him and talk to him, and he goes like, mutter, 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 and then he walks away again. I didn't really pay attention to what...
I didn't see him in mine.
He's like behind one of the silos.
Hang on. Can I have to go and look now?
Yeah. He's like, if you see that big... Like, when you enter the factory part, there's a really big silo to your right with one of the workers on it, and he's to the right of that.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, up there in the dark grass. Okay. I don't know what his deal is.
I don't know either. He's a bit weird. He doesn't say mutter, 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 but I just don't remember what he has been saying, because I've not been paying attention. Oh, well, he just gives you an ether once you've talked to him 3 times. Alright, cool. Goodbye. And he's gone. Oh. That's pretty funny. I like it. Oh, you should not have sent out a Woobat. Unfortunate for you.
Yeah, if you have any sort of dark type move or bug type move, that Woobat's like gonna have a bad time.
I have Shockwave, which I think it's weak to because it's flying.
It's flying type, yeah, unless you're weak to that.
Goodbye. Unfortunate. Do you have... Okay. Now the question is, where's the last guy? Oh, right. There's more stuff up there. Hello, lad.
I just talked to him and he's like, oh yeah, this is a distillation tower and stuff. I'm like, oh okay, you just don't know how the fucking factory works. I'm like, I honestly don't get it.
No, but he gives you an ether, so I don't even know what an ether fills up your PP, right? Yeah.
Fills up your PP.
Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. Oh no. Oh no. Please let me kill this Patrat before he gets bite off. Oh yeah, I will. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, don't miss. I don't think I can miss Shockwave, but don't miss. Oh, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. Don't worry.
Both my Pokemon are at level 17 and getting like no EXP, and there should be some trainers in the gym, so I'm kind of ready to go for the gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready for the gym. I think I have one more trainer to do in the thing, and my Pokemon are at level 16 at the moment.
Yeah, but I thought you said you were gonna wrap up for the
Yeah.
gym, which is fine.
Yeah, we can probably start with the gym next time.
Yeah, no,
which is fun,
possibly not die.
yeah. Oh, Riolu.
Honestly, I think the big thing here is just like these two gyms are like right next to each other, and that was just unfortunate with the Dunsparce that we had.
Yeah.
That happened, which is fine. But like the next gym's a little bit further out and with a bit more on the level cap, so we should get like 2 or 3 encounters before then, so we should be able to refill the party up as long as we don't get really unlucky against
rollout
the second gym leader.
Oh yeah. Yeah, fair dues.
Oh, she's a poison type. Honestly, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. I think the weakest links we're gonna have is P-Waddle for both of us, because P-Dub's not gonna do much.
No.
Honestly,
I think that's going to be the
she's
case.
A poison type.
Yeah.
Which is super effective against grass. So...
Right. Yeah, that's not great.
No, it's not great.
So, what you're telling me is Ellaby has to solo it all.
It won't have to solo it all. It'll just... If we want to, like, switch out to do anything, it'll need to be, like, strategic switches.
Yeah.
Like, don't, like, send out Soullocke and just, like, leave it in the combat the whole entire time.
Yeah. I think I've done all of the lads.
If you've beaten up all 3 of the factory workers, go and talk to the guy at the front. He'll be like, "Yay, you're done."
You did it. Rock Smash. Nice. I thought Rock Smash was like one of those things that you have to get for most of the Pokemon games.
It used to be, but it was also a HM, and then at some point, I want to say Generation 5 was the first one to do it. They were like, "Oh, it's not a HM anymore, now it's a TM." But also, it still breaks rocks if that's what you want to do with it. But none of the rocks are, like, mandatory for progression. They're all for, like, little side areas.
Right.
And when they did that, I was like, cool, can we do the same with Cut? Because Cut really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But then, no, Cut stayed as a HM into Generation 6. And then 7 did the Ride Pokemon in Sun and Moon, and that kind of got rid of all of the HMs. And then 8th Gen, they just went, there's no HMs at all.
Right.
Because there's nothing that blocks your progress in that way, which is like a whole other weird thing. And then Generation 9, it's just like, oh yeah, you get the Herba Mystica, which your Ride Pokemon eats, and it gives them the extra stuff. Don't think about it too hard, but Herba Mystica starts with H and M.
Wonderful.
And it gives them the ability to, like, swim and fly and...
Okay, I have saved the game in-game.
So have I.
Do I need to save it?
Nope, you're all good.
Okay, alright, cool.
Cool, alright. Well,
then I will say goodbye to chat.
a productive 2 hours.
An eventful 2 hours. We got back a little bit, but, you know, we...
We'll make it to the end somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Stay positive.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll manifest it.
We'll get there eventually. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye.
Have a good one, boss.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cool. I am so done. Let's go to the waiting room. I don't usually go here, but that's all right. Hello. Thank you all for joining. That's gonna be it for me for today, though. So have a good evening, morning, and I'll be back next week probably. I don't think I'll do another stream this week because I'm not feeling great at the moment, but we'll see about that later. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.